Wow. It's good to be back. How's everybody doing this morning? I heard there was a bit of karaoke going on last night. Thank God I wasn't there. It's the last thing we need is a video of that. Who got up and sang? Was there like a performance favorite? Anybody? Jackson 5? Who did Jackson 5? All right, I'll wait. I'll look at the playback. Well, let's see. Yeah, certainly early enough for me not to know my name, so I think we should get the questions and see what comes out. I'm looking at you. Yeah, right now. Let's do it. Step up.
Okay. I want to ask about the latest episode. So
about which one?
The latest episode that aired in
Yeah.
America.
Yeah.
Is that
What? Spoiler. Apparently not everybody has seen the last episode.
okay? Jordan, infinite question.
There's somebody in here who's like, I'm on season 3? Can you just not talk about anything?
Well, everybody just put your fingers in your ears because I'm going to go for it.
I'll answer without giving anything away. I'm very good at that.
How does Steve feel now that he knows Sam kept the salmon up the whole time?
That's a pretty good story, right? All right, calm down. Let's see. For those of you who don't know, and I'm sure you probably thought it would eventually, but the amulet worn by Dean has surfaced again, and apparently Sam has kept it the whole time. So, which I always knew. I mean, come on, that was no surprise to me. I'm sure it wasn't a surprise to you. But it was a surprise to me. And I remember, in fact, when I read that, me personally, the first thing I thought was, oh God, not that thing again. I have a relationship with that particular piece of jewelry. It was something that was kind of haphazardly chosen in the very beginning. The costume designer and myself and Eric Christie thought that maybe Dean would have a few kind of accoutrements on him through his hunting travels. And this amulet was just sitting in a big drawer full of random costume jewelry at the Warner Brothers studios. And I picked it up and thought it was unique and cool, and it was really heavy, and it felt like it was, something. And it was the only one I picked up. I didn't like sift through a whole bunch of them. I picked up that one, I'm like, this is cool. Next thing you know, I'm wearing it for like years. So, I liked it in the fact that it helped me kind of create Dean. But I didn't like it because it was like a thick cast metal. And every time I would run or dive or jump or do a stunt, I'd catch it in the teeth. So I'm surprised that I still have front teeth. Because that thing tried to take them out several times. So when I read that it was coming back, I'm like, oh great. Can we get like a plastic one? Anyway, I think Dean was probably touched and confused as to, how and why did he keep this whole time? Why didn't he say anything? And B, why is it now glowing? And then there was a discussion right there on set, because Bob Singer was directing the episode. And I'm like, do I need to put this on now? Are we establishing that this is back around the neck? and Bob's like, what do you want to do? Like, I don't want to put it on my neck. Can I just like keep it in my pocket? He's like, sure. So it's now in Dean's pocket. And whether it comes out again, I don't know. But yeah, I think it was a pretty cool kind of touch to the past, and it's nice to be on a show this long to where you can bring things like that back and have still have relevance. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi there.
Morning, Jensen.
Morning.
Welcome to you.
Thanks.
I'm in this team Iron Man now, but it's still Team Cat. After last episode,
Understood.
it was a good try.
You're allowed to switch teams.
Yeah, no. I'm always Team Cat. Sorry. It was just a bit of a curiosity. In the Tough Mudder video, they gave you the nickname J Money. And I was just wondering why. Can you remember?
I have no idea where that came from. As some of you probably know, Mr. Richard Spade and Rob Benedict, they're like a dynamic duo, and sometimes stuff just comes out and they make up stuff constantly. That was just made up on the fly. It's never been used before. It hasn't been used since. I don't know why they used that. But I'll take it. It's fine with me. I don't care.
And I just said, don't put beer on sandwiches.
Don't pour beer.
Don't iron sandwiches.
Well, let me say, I missed the beginning of, I caught most of that episode this past week, but I missed that. Did it show me pouring beer on it?
Yeah.
Right forward.
It didn't show me spitting beer on it, did it?
No, it didn't.
For those of you who wear the iron shirts, beer looks great. But you really want to get a nice and consistent layer. So if you take a swig and you go, beautiful. We did a couple of takes where, and that wasn't even, whose idea was that? That wasn't in the script at all. None of that. The whole beer thing wasn't in the script. It was something we just kind of came up with right there on the spot. And and the first shot, I take a swig and then I just spew it all over as, you know, like a starch, and then just start ironing. I guess they thought that was too much, so we just did sprinkling of beer instead. But yeah, hey, look, it works. All right, I'm not as freaking dry cleaners. He's lucky I'm ironing his shirts at all. And we've often got that question too. It's like these guys live out of a bag. They live out of the back of, the back of a car, but yet their suits are always very nicely pressed. Yeah, because Dean takes pride in the way he looks. Nothing wrong with getting a nice, crisp, clean shirt. There you go. All right.
Hi. Thanks for being here. What was it like?
You're welcome.
What was it like working with Misha when he was playing Lucifer instead of Cat?
Spoiler.
Who was it? Spoil? Oh, yeah. Yeah, sure. It's just going to be a day of spoilers. Go over it. I don't think you should come over these things without being caught up. Somebody back there was like, I thought this was the Vampire Diaries. I'm in the wrong room. It's interesting. It's always interesting when a character that you've been working with for so long changes characters. We went through this, or at least I went through this with Soulless Sam. And I think that was probably the most difficult, because Dean and Sam are always kind of working together, and now you've not only taken that away, but you've replaced it with something that is, that Dean's not familiar with. So that was very difficult. It was kind of the same thing with Cassifer, as he's lovingly referred to. But I thought that Misha did such a great job, and I can say that because he's not here. Never say that after he's around. He does a really good job of kind of taking what Mark Pellegrino had done with the character and kind of bringing his own talent and ideas to it. Because at first, all I was looking for was him doing an impersonation of Mark Pellegrino. And I'm like, you missed. You're a little too much with the facial gestures. You might want to just tell him not it. But I will say that from Dean's standpoint, it's always difficult to try and adjust to a character that is no longer there. That's somebody else. And then for me personally, I thought it was fun because Misha's he's getting to do something else, and it's also bringing a different dynamic to the scene. But as a character, it's difficult because you want to, Dean should hate this person, but he's in the body of somebody that is, he reveres as a brother. So it was difficult. It was a difficult balance, but I thought he did a great job. I'll leave it at that. Thank you. Yeah. Hi.
Hi. I was wondering if you could describe your life in one song, what would it be and why?
Describe my life?
Yeah.
It's not even an album that What can you describe your life in one song?
It has swearing in it.
What?
It has swearing in it. I can't.
You don't have to sing it. I mean, what's the name of the song? The name of the song has swearing in it? I really want to hear it now.
Flip this stuff I'm out. It's like replace stuff with another S word.
Hey, this is fun. I love word games. This is the name of the song? Is anybody familiar with this song?
Yes.
Well, flip me.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Thank you so much. I'm scared to ask who sings it. That's what I thought. Okay, and that one song that's you're gonna go with that one? Most people are like, oh, the wind beneath my wings. No, fuck this shit, I'm out. All right, I don't have one like quite that is entertaining. Or any I know both. Is this going the way you planned? I don't think so. This is the point in which you say the title of your song and just walk.
That's where my mum's here.
Just set her aside and keep her on a mic for the rest of the day. I really don't want to let you go right now. This is the only day of the day. Somebody recording this? What's your name?
Gracie.
Gracie. Thank you. get out of here. Amazing. Hi.
Hi. I wanted to ask you, I wanted to come direct into the old house. And I wanted to ask you what it was like for you, how you got into directing, and how it works, like when you're doing an episode, to direct and act in it.
What's that like?
Yeah.
Not easy. Yeah, the directing thing kind of came about, I don't know, organically, I guess, for lack of a better term. But it was, I was always interested in the technical aspect of filmmaking, and I think that's, I always thought that the more I know about what's happening behind the camera, the more that'll serve me, the better that'll serve me in front of the camera. If I understand, why the camera's moving the way it is, if I understand why the director's using those lenses to capture the story, what that means, why those choices are made, all that kind of stuff interested me. And when I showed interest in that, it wasn't for an opportunity to direct. It was just simply wanting to learn and having a thirst for that knowledge. And Craig Grayson still out You just keep it up, Grayson. And so I remember Kim Manners. He said to me, he's like, "You're going to direct for me one of these days." And that was the first time I'd ever even thought about it. He kind of put that idea in my head. I was like, "What? What are you talking about? Why would I do that? I'm the actor." He's like, "No, I can see it." And I'm like, "Okay, well, I'll leave that up to the people who decide that, not me." And season 6, they finally were like, "Hey, is this something you'd be interested in?" So, well, yeah. I mean, if you feel like you're confident enough in me to pull this off, otherwise I don't. I'm not asking for this. I would be humbled and honored to do it. And I think that was a key element, was that they, the producers, supported me and they wanted me to give it a shot, as opposed to me demanding or negotiating and forcing them to give me an episode. So what that did just for me mentally was it just helped me feel like I was in a safe place, that I wasn't set up to fail, that I was being set up to succeed. And I think if you can kind of keep your head in that kind of, a safe place like that, then there's a lot of things you can do. But the getting down to it, having to navigate that whole directing thing and take a 40 to 50 page script and make that a visual, while also playing a character in it. Which I remember the first day that I had to shoot a scene with myself in it, and I totally forgot to memorize my lines, because I was so focused on like, okay, what camera angles do I need, what lenses am I going to use, how am I going to block the scene out, I've got to get this coverage, I've got to get this insert, I've got to do all A, B, C, D, and I'm like, oh, crap, so I forgot that I'm on camera right now, and I don't even know my lines. So luckily I've done this a few times before, and I was able to kind of memorize it very quickly and do the scene. But it was difficult, and I think that there's some people that can do it with ease. I had to work hard at it, but I always said that I wasn't going to fail because of lack of preparation. And so I really over-prepared, just so I knew that if I did fail or if something didn't work, it wasn't because I didn't do my homework. So there you go. Thank you.
Hello. If you could be shapeshifted for a day, who would you be, or what would you be, and why?
All right. Shapeshifter for a day. Oh man. I'm just probably somebody who lives on a beach somewhere. No, that's an easy cop out. That's nice. Be Jared? There's probably no other person on the planet that lives as close of a life as I do as Jared. Why would I do that?
Misha!
Yeah, Misha, because he gets like 4 episodes off every 2 episodes. Man, I don't know. Part of me is like, you know, I'd like to be the president. Donald Trump? He's not the president.
You better tell him that then.
What's that?
I said you better tell him that then.
Yeah. But then I'm like, no, why would I want that responsibility? But just to understand what a day in the life of that office or that position would entail would be, I think, pretty educational. But then again, I'm like, no, then I'd have to get up before 7. That sucks. I don't know. You know, there's probably a lot of things that I'd like to try, but I'm pretty happy with who I am. A day in the life with me is pretty fun, and if it's not, I make it fun. Thank you. Hi.
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 Obviously, a lot of talking to with the international fandom, but there's also negatives, and it's what you have to say on the other side.
About supernatural fandom,
Yeah.
positives and negatives,
But
about the community.
like, do you ever hear about the negatives in the like when
When someone's trolling,
yeah.
is that even a term? Is that Catherine's gonna hate that I just said that. Yeah, I mean, look, there's obviously been this has become a bigger thing than we ever imagined it would be. What the show is, what this is, fans, you know, all the things that have sprung up from the show and the fandom is certainly bigger than we, and by we I mean Jared and I, would ever thought would happen. And he and I discuss it every now and again, just like this is, you know, they say the network and the studio have openly said that the show is going to continue as long as the guys want it, until we tap out, basically. Listen, we can tap out. No, not anytime soon. Okay. Yeah, that's all we need to see. A couple of gray-haired salmon beans. But it is, you know, yes, there's going to be some naysayers out there and some people that maybe have an agenda of doing something or saying something that is discouraging or hurtful to other people or hurtful to the fandom, which, in my opinion, 90% of that is just somebody needing attention, somebody needing help, but the positives that have come out of this are amazing. You know, the community that has been built and solidified with these conventions and with, you know, us being able to actually come out and talk to you face to face and shake your hand and give you a hug and answer your questions. You know, it's something that I never thought would get to a level that it has, but it has, and I'm proud as hell of that. So you know, I've heard so many amazing stories from you guys and people all over the world about how the show is has helped them either deal with something in their personal life, has brought them closer together with a friend or a family member, has helped them find friends, or has just been really entertaining. They just really like the show. It's been something fun that they've been able to kind of grow up with or live with and have in their life. And it's an honor for me to be able to provide something like that, an escape or a common denominator that brings people together, gives people entertainment and hope. But going back to what I was saying, that Studio Network said, as long as they just keep going. Jared and I talked. It's like, when is enough enough? And he and I really kind of understand that this is bigger than us. It's not about Jared and Jensen. This is about something bigger, and we are part of a family that is it goes far beyond us. I mean, there's people that we work with every day on the crew that they have families and they have children that I've now seen grow up, and it really is a family and a community both internally and externally, and it's so those positives, in my opinion, far outweigh any negatives that can arise. And for the negativity that does come, yeah, that's going to happen, and I'll hear about some of it. And if that can be turned around, then try to do that. But if it's just negativity to be negative, there's going to be those people, and you just kind of have to either try to help them or ignore them.
Shake it off.
What?
Shake it off.
Shake it off? That's my song. Thank you.
Hi, I was just wondering, what's one thing that you've learned about Dean this season that you didn't know before?
One thing about it. Gosh. That you can actually fight 3 people inside the Apollo. I did not expect that to happen, and I don't think Dean did either. And that he really gets angry when the bad guy drives his car. Like really angry. Like way more angry than he thought he would get. That's certainly something I learned. Yeah, the great thing with having a character, playing a character for 11 years, is you really kind of get to grow with that character, and you learn about him all the time. And there was, I'll give you one, and it's a bit of a spoiler, but not much, because nobody's seen this episode yet. It's the next episode that airs. There's a scene coming up in the next episode where Dean confronts Chuck, and the way that I read the scene, I read it in kind of the way typically Dean handles a situation like that, and then I read it again. And I was like, okay, yeah, that sounds like the way that he would play that scene. And then I started thinking about it, and I'm like, or is it? And I started kind of really thinking about, well, maybe this is something different for him, because of who he's talking to and what that might represent. And it totally changed the way that it played. And it wasn't something that I was like, oh, I'm going to do it this way for this purpose. It was a thought that I had that kind of made sense, and I went with it. And the nice thing about working with really talented people is you can really allow the scene to kind of take on its own shape. And this one did, and I think it was really interesting. I got a couple of calls from the writers emails saying that that was a great choice and that it was not an obvious one. And, so that one was pretty cool. I don't want to give too much away, but anyway, I think I learned a little bit about him through that scene, and you'll see it in the next episode.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi.
So, hypothetically, the Neil was in the French mistake. Like, can you think of any funny scenes with these? Or like, how do you react to these person?
If Danielle was in the French mistake, what would she be, or?
No, like, you know, can you think of any funny scenes or how do you react?
I don't know, like as the wife of.
Yeah, kind of like homeless.
Oh, okay, I see. Might have been funny if when Jensen walked into his trailer and saw like a helicopter and the fish tank and stuff, like she was hanging out on the couch, and it would have been like that one more element of I have a fish tank, I have a helicopter, I have a hot wife. I think Dean would have promptly asked Sam to wait for him outside. Thanks. She's gonna hear that and be like, really, dude? Hi.
Hi, my question is actually Jake's question just here, so just give me a minute.
All right.
Okay, so that was, what is your favourite dinosaur?
A Gorgosaurus. Look it up.
He says T-Rex.
Okay, fine, T-Rex. You win. Thanks, Jake.
He says thank you.
All right, one more, or is that it? That's it? I gotta go. Hey, I've enjoyed this time with you. Yeah, I'll be back. But super stoked to be here. You guys are awesome. I always love coming here. This is some of the best crowds we ever get to be in front of. And I thank you for that. So enjoy today, and we'll see you guys later.
Jensen is going to be in the photo studio, in photo studio 1. They're going to start with upgrades. If you are not an upgrade, please queue for studio 1. Jared, they're going to start with upgrades in studio 2. If you're not an upgrade, please don't queue. Adrian is in studio 3. Again, upgrade. If you're not an upgrade, please don't queue. Autographs for Richard, Matt and Gil are going to start from M. So if you are letter M, you don't queue for your autograph.